I don't know. Who is this on the phone?
This is Chris Bauer, Wild Bill Hickok.
Yeah! From the hit movie, from the hit movie 8mm, which we were talking about before.
A lot of hit movies.
A lot of hit movies. But also from the Starz hit TV series, Heels on Starz. Check your local listings for time and availability. The one and only Chris Bauer. Chris, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. Thanks for talking to me.
Dude, thank you for being on the show. I was just gloating on how amazing having you on is, because I was just watching 8mm the other day, right? And I was watching it, and I'm like, okay, because first off, I know some of the members of the Coppola family, so I know Nick's brother and everything else. So when you're getting your ass kicked at the end, and I'm watching the movie, and I'm going, holy shit, that is Chris. Like, I did not remember that was you at the end of the movie playing. Like, I did not remember that was you, because that movie's so long ago. And I'm like, this guy does everything.
That you just described my career perfectly.
Yeah.
I do everything and nobody remembers. I swear. Listen, when I went to acting school, they told me that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to play the character. You're not supposed to play yourself.
Exactly.
So, technically, it's very gratifying. I have no choice. That's just the only way I can do it. But I appreciate people like you saying, holy, you were that guy in 8mm.
Yeah.
8mm is one of those ones that I don't think my kids have seen yet.
Well, how old are your kids?
They're in their early 20s.
Oh, okay.
I
Then
still
they can
don't
see
think
it.
they should see it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like, hey, kids, you want to see a snuff movie? Come on, kids, let's go see the snuff movie.
Between I think I did Devil's Advocate and that movie basically almost within a year of each other.
Yeah.
And it was right before I had kids. And after that, I pretty much just played cops.
Yeah, it does show up that way.
When you dance with the devil in one movie, and then you're a child molesting murderer in another movie, cops is a safe bet. It's a safe bet. Let's make him a cop. Yeah. It's fine. But that's what I'm saying. We were going down your card here: The Wire, True Blood. Just to name a few. There's so many. There's too many to freaking name. Your IMDb reads like the Bible. There's so many freaking chapters in this thing. And that's exactly what you are. You are the best, one of the best character actors that I've ever seen, because when you're on screen, and this is not just a kissing your ass type of moment. When you're on the screen, I know I'm going to have at least a good actor in this scene. So when I'm watching Heels, it took me in the first season to realize that's who the fuck was playing Wild Bill. Because you have long hair, a big Fu Manchu goatee, and everything else. It doesn't look like you at all.
What we used to.
That's a huge compliment.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. That's a huge compliment. Plus, I worked my ass off. I'm 56 years old.
No.
I worked out for about a year before I played that part. Because you know what? Some people can play everything from A to Z. I can play everything from fat to skinny.
That works.
And you're talented at it, too. That's what's good about it. You play fat better than I've ever seen someone play fat before. Let me point that out.
Not better than you.
It comes natural, let me tell you.
Yeah, well, Joe, when I do it, this is not a bodysuit, is what I'm saying. So the best thing, because I'm watching, because, Joe, I don't want to say nothing, but I'm pretty big in the industry. Let me point out, I got a couple of screeners of season 2 of Starz with my name on it today. I had to, where they actually watermark your name. I know, right? Bauer's excited. Chris Bauer's excited, and he's seen everything.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. And I'm watching season 2, and let me tell you, season 2 opens up with a crazy bunch of stuff. You got to pay attention because you learn about a lot of other parts that happened that people were alluding to in season 1, but now you're seeing what happens in season 2. One of the things is that I've taken away from this show is about a family, right? But it's multiple families because it's the Spade family, right? And then it's also the DWL family in the locker room. And I'm still trying to figure out where Wild Bill fits into either family.
He's responsible for
I mean, you nailed it, dude. He's looking for a family. He's the only one who doesn't have one.
There you go.
I mean, he's a road dog, and he lives basically from pill to bottle to match to hotel to one, cocktail waitress after the next. And he's done well, but Heels pretty much starts with him kind of like, he's like the smoke right before you put it out in the ashtray.
Yeah.
And he finds out pretty quickly he's got nowhere to go, so he's got to make a family. And what I like about the show is, like, he's an asshole, so it's not like anybody's going to say, hey, come on in, we'll make you nice and comfy.
Right.
He's got to figure out some way for them to need him, which is how it works,
Yeah, and that's the best part of the show, too, especially your character, is that you have a storyline with pretty much every other character. Like, you're connected to each and every one of the, whether you're, I slept with this one, I should have slept with that one, this one is angry at me for this thing.
I'm trying to help this one.
Yeah, and it's like, it does, like, and not to say that the show centers around Wild Bill, but it pretty much does.
He has major parts to it.
Because he takes the audience through all the shit.
Right.
Like, if you're watching it for the first time, because I don't know, by the way, the show's about pro wrestlers. Yeah. So if you don't know that industry, I'm saying, but if you don't know that industry, you're on the outside looking in. Like, because Billy over here, is a pro wrestler. Billy has former pro wrestler. He held a world title, Chris, for about 10 minutes. Would you hold Billy here on my show? Billy nicknames. Billy, how long did you hold the title?
I don't know, a couple of months.
All right, couple of months. He also got his head crashed in with a baseball bat. He had to staple his shit together. He was a pro wrestler.
We just let it
Shut up! I'm trying to make Chris Bauer think you're cool.
He said he held the belt while the guy tied his shoe.
Pretty much.
No, that was the other one.
And pushed him over. But
if he had a belt for 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months, guys. You show Billy some respect. 2 months. God damn, he was a wrestler known as the Shaolin Milkman. That's what we called him.
The Milkman.
The Shaolin.
Watch that on YouTube, Billy.
Yeah, Billy, can you watch that on YouTube?
No, I don't believe any of my stuff is on YouTube. At least I hope not.
Oh, that's the best shit right there.
Yeah.
You had to be there.
You had to be there. You had to witness it. Like when Wild Bill shits his pants.
Oh, God.
You have to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got to understand how that built up and what led to it.
Yeah, you got to be there. So from one Wild Bill to another Wild Bill.
That's why I love cable TV.
You know what's incredibly funny, Chris? We actually know for a fact, because we know a bunch of wrestlers, we know that there's been a ton of guys who have shit their pants in the ring.
It just happens.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's not like a made up, like somebody's like, you know what will happen in this episode? Let's write it in. He shits his pants.
Yeah.
No, it has happened.
Oh, it happened.
Didn't Andre the Giant do that shit a few times?
The bottom line is, in my experience, if you get inside a ring, liquid is going to come out of your body.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether it's blood or puke or shit, it's going to come out.
Don't eat all day.
That's what I love about wrestling.
Yeah. That's what Billy's T-shirt was. That's what, when Billy was a wrestler, his T-shirt was like, some liquid's going to come out of my body. And on the back was a list, blood, shit, piss, milk, because he was a dairy guy, all that kind of stuff.
Is it got milk?
Got milk? Disturbing. Chris, were you always a wrestling fan?
Yes and no. I mean, I appreciated it, but then I kind of became a fan about 20 years ago or so, and my son got really into it, and I ended up making friends with all these indie wrestlers in L.A.
Nice.
And I used to go to shows there once a month. It blew my mind. I appreciated it because I was a theater actor before I ever, worked in film and TV. I figured I'd pretty much, never get off stage because I got no charisma, and I look like someone's heel. So I was shocked when I started getting work on TV, but the theatricality of it and the commitment to the audience the fans, hooked me.
Yep.
And it also reminded me when I was a kid, I was really into like the early punk rock scene in L.A. when I was in high school. And indie wrestling reminded me of that because you go to these shows in, the American Foreign Legion with folding chairs, and these people blowing your mind were only 5, 6, 7 feet away from you. There was none of this rock star bullshit.
Yep.
And so I really admired it and kind of got into it. But here's the thing, there's a difference between someone who admires, appreciates, and supports it and a fucking fan.
Yeah.
Like, my son is a fan. We watch an AEW match right now, and he calls every single move from every single wrestler right before they do it. He's just like, he gives it a kind of attention that I'm too old to do it. So I appreciate it, but I would never claim, capital F fan.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to hang with your son because I'm like that too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have AEW in here on the big screen in a little bit because it comes on at like 8:00. Then I know,
good.
I even know already that Steven Amell from the show, one of the leads of the program, he's going to be on Raw. I think. Either next week or whatever, right before the season 2 premiere of Heels, which by the way is on Starz. So it's like you guys are covering the wrestling landscape. Trust me, you guys are doing fine, and you don't look like a heel.
Trying to.
Yeah, like face wise, you don't look like a heel. You're a heel. I was gonna say, for crazy, you're not the most ugliest guy in the world, there, Chris. Come on now.
Like you.
Yeah, there's some ugly fucks like Joe in the back.
But I'm with Chris. I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
the only wrestler I know is Jade.
Yeah, well, Jade Cargill, who's hopefully coming on the show from AEW.
Yeah.
But see, it's the closest thing to theater. He's absolutely right because it's theater instead of the round. It's theater in the ring, like it's a 20 by 20 foot ring.
Yeah.
If you can't tell the story, you're not working.
Yeah, you're not. If you're not getting over with the crowd in some way, shape, or form, you're done. It doesn't care if you can throw the best headlock in the business.
That's what blows my mind. That next level of awareness, that next level of like storytelling, where you have to be so perceptive. People who don't know, I like the best description I have for people who are kind of on the outside and don't get it at all is like if you saw two like virtuoso jazz guitar players. And they just started playing together and jamming and making this insane sound, you'd be like, holy shit, how do they do that? How can they just walk on stage and do that? Wrestling is like that to me, except it's got physics and it's got consequences, and somehow a good wrestler has always got just as much, if not a little bit more attention on the crowd to find a pop here and there, to sort of track the heat. And it's like a kind of a creative intelligence that just absolutely blows my mind.
Yeah. That's what
I just don't even know how I don't know how you do it.
That's what I say to Billy. I'm like, Billy, you have creative intelligence.
It comes with practice. You just got to keep getting out there and seeing what works and knowing, like, you see the crowd, they're like, uh-oh, they're not into this. Either we're taking this home or come up with something good.
Yeah.
You know.
And when you see two guys with guitars in wrestling, they're hitting each other with them.
Exactly.
El Kabong.
El Kabong. No.
Yeah. No, and the other thing, you know, in the comparison to theater is like, it's theater except you get to fucking join.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get to participate.
The interaction and the participation makes it so much more, and it's hella cheaper too, generally.
It used to be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's cheaper than going to Broadway.
Yeah,
He's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, do you smoke cigars?
Those AEW pay-per-view, huh?
Do you smoke cigars?
No, man. I'm in the health.
Damn it. No, because I wanted to add you to the list of guys I need to smoke cigars with. Because he's literally reciting what I think of pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. That's exactly why me and Billy, even though Billy has been in the ring and performed, I mean, I did like one pay-per-view in my life, but Billy performed in the ring and everything else. That feeling of what wrestling is, like, we love the business. of pro wrestling, and that's what heels.
This show is really good with that. It gives you a lot of stuff from behind.
You get the Iggies, as they say. Yeah.
You know, you get the thing when everybody's all training together. That family part of it too. That's huge in this business. Like, you really have to have that brotherhood and look out for each other. Otherwise, you're not staying long.
Yeah, but now I got to drink wheatgrass with Chris Bauer.
Well, you can.
Hey, no, dude. I'll bring a box and. I'll bring a box of Nicorette and I'll watch you choke that cigar down.
Sweet.
We'll be in the same zone.
Dude, it's a fucking date. What was that, Ricky?
I'm saying you did the pay-per-view?
I did a pay-per-view. I had during WrestleCon. WrestleCon in New York City.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I did. I was part of, there was a wrestler, not wrestler, a Sirius XM personality, Mike Babchek, from Morning Men on Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports, Channel 82. He was Matt Stryker, formerly of the WWE. He was a school teacher that became a pro wrestler.
And he got fired.
And he got fired for taking...
Always having to work in Japan.
He got fired for taking off from school to not teach, to go wrestle. That's how big of his dream he was.
Yep.
So, and he made all the papers. He was on the news. It was a whole thing. So he got hired from the WWE. Great guy, too. Phenomenal fucking guy.
Truly.
He was in a match, like this giant thing that was on pay-per-view, and I was part of the entourage to bring them out to the ring. So I was the security guy. I'm using air quotes.
Oh, I thought you were wrestling.
No, I wish. I want to have a match. Or look, I'll just be an extra on heels. I'll get in the ring. I'll take a couple bumps. Put me and Billy.
I would love to be the guys in the training section.
Yeah,
anytime. And by the way, hey, before too long goes, I think that was Billy that was talking about the the camaraderie of the training and the place and the kind of family vibe, and that was something that Mike O'Malley, the showrunner, was just obsessive about in season 2. He was like, "This is a fucking family. You got to put each other over." And we got to feel that. We got to feel like that this little thing, this little outfit in the country has something to offer a bigger market, and it comes from, everybody being able to count on everybody else as a character, also as an actor.
Well, that definitely that comes through.
He's going to be psyched.
All right.
Yeah, that's great.
No, definitely. That. Is Mike O'Malley the actor?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on a bunch of shows. He was a comedian too, right?
Yes, this asshole has way too much talent.
Yes. What an asshole.
He writes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people, he's a pig. He can write. He's a comedian. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's also an incredible friend and a great guy. He's a curve wrecker. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the thing.
Makes us all look bad.
I saw that name. I didn't know if it was him. And then when you just said, yeah, he's done all this, I'm like, motherfucker, that is that guy. I've not that I've met him, but I've seen him in 9 million freaking things. To the point that I know who he is. He used to host. He used to host Guts on. If it's the same Mike O'Malley on Nickelodeon, which was like the kids' version of American Gladiators. Mike O'Malley was on that show.
That was his first job.
Thank you.
That was his first job.
I win. Point for me. I get to be an extra on heels. I got it right.
Yeah. Seriously, man. You're an encyclopedia.
I am, I'm telling you. Knowing that I'm talking to the machine, before Bert Kreischer, this was the machine. I'm talking to Chris Bauer from the hit TV show Heels.
That was so
Starz.
awkward. I vividly remember when we had to block some of the camera stuff for that scene at the end of 8mm.
Yeah.
There was no way to do it without me lying in the dirt with Nick Cage lying directly on top of me with his nose like a half inch from my nose. We just had to sit there for like 2 minutes, while they blocked the cameras.
Yeah.
And they say acting.
That was awkward, man.
I've been in the same room with Nick, and that's close enough. I'm just saying. I'm friends with his brother. I'm friends with his brother's wife. A lot of the Coppolas, but Nick is a strange cat. Nick is a strange cat, man. Yeah, he's a trip. He's awesome. He's a great guy. But
I love him. Yeah. I did I worked on Face Off with him too.
Right. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You don't know what Nick Cage you're gonna get. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what Nick you're gonna get when you're even in the vicinity of Nick, let alone acting with him. You don't know. Billy, what were you looking up?
I know.
Oh, all right. I thought Billy was doing work. I'm sorry, everybody. Billy wasn't working. Calm down.
Did you research like any?
Hey, do you guys know Eddie King? Huh?
Eddie who? Kingston?
Eddie Kingston?
Yeah.
I know a bunch
Eddie
of people
Kingston?
that worked with him. Yeah. They trained
I'm
with him and
obsessed
all of
with
that.
dude right now.
Yeah. He tell me he's not one of the greatest storytelling wrestlers out there now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the last two little spots he's done. Well, he had that match with New Japan, right?
Mm-hmm. He just won the strong
And
title.
He won.
Right? Yeah.
He won. And just like, that's what I mean. Like, the vibe after he won that, I almost cried.
Yeah.
That's performance to me. You know what I mean? My brain can't even get into the argument of whether he really feels that way or not.
Well,
that's a great fucking actor as far as I'm concerned.
Let me tell you, he actually cried. That was real. That was not even him acting. He legitimately, Eddie Kingston. Even though we're talking to a Hollywood movie star and TV star right now, we'll talk about a totally other guy right now. Eddie Kingston is a pro wrestler. He's a fat guy. He's a normal guy from. Is he from Queens, Billy? Where is he from? Or Brooklyn?
I don't remember, but I know he spent a lot of time training.
I thought he was from Jersey.
Homicide and
I'm talking about. Well, he's from the New York area, and he's from he's legitimately what you see is what you get of Eddie Kingston. He's not playing. Yeah, he's not playing a character. He's literally a street guy. Like literally, he's not there to go. He's not there to have abs. He's not there to fucking. I'm not doing my tan.
It goes back to old school wrestling.
Yeah,
beer drinking, ass kicking,
a big son of a bitch. Yeah, and he just recently.
No entrance.
Yeah, he has no music. He just comes out. Mm-hmm. He went to Japan because which I believe he's been to Japan before.
Yes,
He's just, but he's New Japan Pro Wrestling. Just to keep everyone in the know here, is like where you go if you want to be a legitimate fucking person in wrestling. That's where you go. Because that's where they're kicking the shit out of each other. That's Japanese strong style. That's I'm gonna hurt you if you don't perform this the right way.
You don't get in the ring until you go through the training.
Yeah, you gotta go through dojo training, which is like you get treated like shit. You start out as nothing and you have to work your way to superstardom. This guy made it there.
Your way into the ring.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying you start out as a flea, and then you end up as the dog. You know what I mean? Like it's a giant transition.
Mm-hmm. That's why I never made it in boxing.
Yeah, and Eddie Kingston made it all the way. He went to Japan, finally won a singles title in Japan. So much so that now he's not working for AEW for a month because he has contractually has to defend this title that he won. So he burst into tears when he won it because it was something like his promo at the end when he's literally standing there going, I have no fucking words. Like that, literally that's exactly what he was saying. I have no fucking words. Because think about it. It's something you've wanted your whole life, right? You've wanted something your whole life and you finally achieve it. That's going to break even the toughest son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. What, Billy? Billy
yeah,
did.
And then taking some.
Yeah,
what's Billy say?
Wait, Billy actually did work, Chris. Hold on, we gotta wait.
No.
He's my producer extraordinaire.
Letting you know how much time we have left.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, that's all it was?
That's all that was.
I thought you were giving me the finger.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I don't want to stop talking to Chris Bauer, though. Chris Bauer's fucking awesome. We're talking wrestling, old movies that he's been in. Yeah, we have to do this again.
So.
Beatdowns and stuff, everything. All kinds of good shit. All right, so let's get into professional radio mode, and let's plug away. All right, so we got Heels on Starz. Season 2 starts when?
Friday, July 28th.
Friday, July 28th.
At 10 p.m. Eastern.
At 10 p.m. Eastern. Check your local cable satellite provider, whatever you got to do. Get Starz. Don't be a dick. Spend the extra money. Get the show. Watch, Chris Bauer as Wild Bill Hancock.
I recommend it.
I recommend it as well. If you're a wrestling fan, you should be watching this show. If you're not a fan, because this is what the industry is. Watch this freaking show. Learn about it. Learn about what actually goes on behind the scenes.
It gives you a nice little peek.
Yeah. And remember, Chris Bauer is a thespian. And a thespian is a lesbian with a lisp.
Seriously, that was a good plug, man. I couldn't have done it better myself.
Well,
and I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me and a lot to our whole cast to have anybody with any wrestling know-how support heels. So thank you. July 28th on Starz.
Well, Chris, put the word out because we're trying to also have, I want to have Punk on and his wife because they're both on the show.
That's a good idea.
CM Punk, Phil Brooks, if you're playing at home.
Yep.
Ricky Rabies on the show. His wife is also on the show now, AJ Lee.
Yes.
All right, so she's on the show as well.
Yep.
So right there, even if you don't want to just stare at Chris's beautiful heel face, all right, you can look at them if you want.
There's other things to look at.
Yeah,
there's other things to look at besides my snakeskin pants.
Exactly. And most of the time, his snakeskin pants either has shit on them or he's not wearing them.
Oh.
So.
Well, just look at the front.
Boy, trust me, I was, Chris. Yeah. Where do you think they got the snake skin? That's one hell of a snake. The fact of the matter is, this show is epic. Chris, you are one hell of a guest. You are a great actor. First off, round of applause for Chris Bauer.
Absolutely.
That's number one, because the guy is fucking Hollywood. He's done everything. He's been in movies from Pacino to Cage to you name it. He's been in it.
You have a TV. You've seen him.
You've seen him
many times.
That's the other thing. Like we said at the beginning of this interview, he's done tons of work that you probably don't even know he's done.
That's
right.
Yeah. So go to his IMDb page and just start watching every movie and TV show that's on it. Catch it. Watch it.
Heels.
Watch Heels. Well, obviously, watch Heels first. Don't be an asshole the whole time we're here. We gotta. Of course, you should be watching Heels. Don't be a dick and just go watch the other movies. I know he said Face Off, and it's a cool movie, but go see freaking watch Heels first, for Christ's sake. By the way, True Blood. We got the fans in the Facebook Live screaming out True Blood. We know that he was on True Blood. He knows he was on True Blood. Motherfucker, he's got the crew jacket. He knows he was there.
That's true.
God damn it,
I was there.
He was the sheriff. He knows. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Chris Bauer from the TV show Heels on Starz. Season 2 is coming soon. Get ready for it. It's coming now. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Chris Bauer. Yeah.